Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Zymox, and I'm your chief show attendant. On behalf of the two hosts and the rest of the crew, welcome aboard Weird Wednesday Flight number 13, non-stop, from your current location to parts unknown. Our flight will be of about 2 hours, and we'll be flying at the speed of sound. At this time, make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position, and that your seatbelt is currently fastened. Enjoy the ride.
What's up? How's it going? My screen's not going like it should, but hey, other than that, it's that last minute chaotic. Nope, that's not it, Rob. Nope, that's not it either. Let's see. There we go. Good fucking grief. So, yeah, typical Weird Wednesday fashion. Go to sign on. Everything was set up earlier, but it was giving me some grief earlier in the day when I set the show up. And it didn't want to put the links up. Finally, put the links up. Everything's good, and then I go to sign on, and it's just sitting there giving me the old joining. I'm like, why does this happen every freaking week? I don't know. I should be used to it by now, right?
Mine just kept spinning.
Yeah. What's happening, everybody? How's it going?
Good evening, everybody.
Everybody been having a decent week so far?
Is everybody in? Is everybody in? Everybody in? Everybody in?
Boom, bada bing, bada boom.
I'm
Yeah,
just
I
not
was
getting
playing. I was playing the intro to the show. It doesn't have that one like 30 seconds of music in it anymore because every week we were getting dinged for copyright violation, even though it was music that came off of iMovie. Somebody in China somewhere decided that they would claim it as their own.
Fair Use Act.
Yeah, yeah, we'd have to like
Obtained on a public platform.
yeah. I just got tired of appealing it, so I just took the music part out, and now it just has the sound effects. And since then, haven't had a problem.
Except now I'm like always the first like 3 minutes into the show connecting the YouTube links to the Facebook forwards.
Yeah,
because that gave me just as soon as it was done, I had just put the last link on, and it was like, then I could start saying my hellos.
Yep.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
Ooh, awesome so far. That's what I like to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been staying busy this week. Darcy's been working night shifts, the graveyard shift, so I'm home alone unsupervised.
Oh.
Today it caught up with me. I didn't get nearly enough sleep last night. And I had an appointment this morning at like 9:30. Not to mention I didn't pick her up from work till like 6:30, and we got home and I lost my little Bose Soundwave speaker. So I opened the back of my van thinking, well, it's got to be in one of my band bags or something. And then I remembered, oh shit, my back door in my van, the lock is broken. So yeah, for the next hour, we're out there disassembling the back panel on the van to get access to the freaking lock. My neighbor's over there. What are you doing? Oh, just working on the car at 6:30 in the morning after I haven't had any sleep all night. So, yeah. What should have taken 5 minutes took like an hour. That's the way my day started.
What inquiring minds want to know is, what were you doing all night? Working on a special project?
Yeah, I was watching porn.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Or were you on the internet?
No, I was actually working on YouTube. I was setting up.
Oh, your channel.
Yeah, I was setting up a new fishing channel.
Revamping your old channel.
Yeah, I had a YouTube channel it's been there since 2013. And somehow I just forgot about it. And I'm like, well, instead of starting a new one, I'll just use this one. And yeah, so I started uploading some older videos, moving them over from the main site to that site. So yeah, that took like all night, basically. And only uploaded like, I don't know, 8 or 10 videos.
Are you pretty satisfied where it's at though? Like it's a pretty good kind of start, combination of things for like a start.
It's a start. That's about all it is.
Start. Well,
Yeah.
it's better than nothing. And the horoscopes have been saying all those little starts are gonna like totally pay off.
Yeah.
Like if things were crazy last week, it's getting even better this week. Follow my profile or my Instagram.
Yeah, my main channel is so chaotic, so eclectic, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Multifaceted.
yeah. I mean, it started out as I was doing vaping reviews, and then I started doing Weird Wednesday, which started out as like pretty much true life stories. And then that evolved, and next thing you know, I got fishing videos and music videos and biking videos, and like it's kind of like it's hard to find shit on there because there's, I'm easily distracted. I go in like 10 different directions at once, and I keep getting messages, hey, make some more fishing videos. I'm like, okay, so if people are going to watch fishing videos, I'll make fishing videos. I'm just on a different channel, so they'll be easy to find. You go to that channel, and that's all it is shit about fishing. Although it's going to be all kinds of fishing. It's not, you know me. It's not just going to be going out in a boat and going fishing. It's little kayak fishing, little bridge fishing, little creek fishing, little lake fishing, beach fishing, boat fishing, fishing for a clue,
I have a dead channel somewhere, and then mine started out as like family stuff, like my little cousin's birthday parties and stuff. And then it turned into my paranormal page, and then it turned into my PUBG streaming page, and then there was more gaming than paranormal. I just noticed under my live today, because they changed stuff around, that like 8 videos I had that were like 30 seconds, 2 minutes were like test ones I was doing to like set
Yeah,
like components and things
I had a
up
bunch of those.
that I know I
Yeah.
deleted, but I'm sitting there like, doing all this like test. Had hella views on it too. Some stuff was just like a line going across for 15 seconds. It had like 100 and something
Yeah.
views.
Yeah, like in the last 2 weeks, I've gotten several notices from YouTube, like copyright infringement or this and that, they're like wanting to give me a strike for something. And I look and it's a vaping video from like 2009. I'm like, seriously?
Oh, for fuck's
Yeah, you're like,
sake.
they're like the algorithms are like going back, fucking 20 years, 15 years and like finding something. I'm like,
And they do. They go back to old
yeah,
ones and they're like, oh, blah blah blah. No, but at the time that music was obtained on
yeah.
a public domain under the Fair Use Act. And I got it, and probably I think from you or Instagram, and then copied it over. So,
Yeah,
and then they go, oh well, now your case is closed.
exactly.
So, oh
Your
well.
case is closed because it was, 18 years old.
I have a huge list of I don't even care. Like sometimes I'll kind of go through some. They keep striking this one stupid Jupiter video over and over. I keep just even saying delete the music out. I don't even care.
Yeah.
Like get rid of the whole video. Like I'm tired of you guys talking about it, but they keep on hitting
Yep.
it.
Yep.
I can't keep up with all that.
Yeah, exactly. Like I know what videos. I mean, I remember making them when I see them, but like, yeah, I used to do all those vaping reviews and liquids and devices and all, from like 15 years ago. I remember all that shit.
That's why now I'll say, like in the comments, in case they delete the music, it did have such and such by such and such, which was obtained on a public platform under the Fair Use Act.
Yeah.
Or I have rights to it because yada yada.
Yeah, that's my fishing channel. It's just Rob Autry Fishing on YouTube. I don't know if that link works or not, but that's it. Pretty easy.
Have they had you change your account to a professional account
No, I don't.
yet? Where you have to make a big decision if you want to keep it professional account, or where your friends change this or that, or you go professional mode, and it makes no sense to me. But
Yeah, the professional dashboard pops up, and I'm like, oh.
yeah, I had to switch to it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would have lost a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, my channel used to be monetized years ago. When I was doing
You'll lose all your followers.
I was doing all the vaping stuff. It was monetized, and then and I wasn't making a ton of money, but I get a check for like $100 every so often, and
I mean, on Facebook.
Oh yeah. I hate that whatever it is on Facebook.
But if you don't, they take your follow. Like anybody who isn't your friend, but they follow you, like might follow you for the show, they'll take them away, but you keep your friends. If you change it to the professional, you still have your friends as friends, but you can have an unlimited amount, and you get to keep your followers. And if you don't make a choice by a certain date, they're going to make it for you, which I think is going to be defaulting. And so far, I don't have any problems. Like I couldn't figure out how to do a story, but there's just different ways to do it. So it's not like that crazy different.
Yeah. Yeah, with YouTube, like I say, my channel used to be monetized, and then when the big stink about vaping came up, it was like, you're not advertiser friendly. I'm like, well, you're not getting the right advertisers, obviously. But yeah, they demonetized my channel, so I'm like, cheap bastards. They had me fill out a survey thing a couple of times, and I'm like, yep, it's little channels like mine and like all the other thousands and thousands of channels out there that made YouTube what it is today. Without content creators back in the day, you guys wouldn't have been shit.
Without these big name people, the big followers are now bringing more from other places. They really weren't.
But
don't forget where you came from, YouTube.
Exactly. But vaping got a bad name, a bad rap. But nowadays, I mean, you can't say all kinds of stuff. You have freedom of speech. It's uncensored. Just watch what you say. As I
because it's in the algorithm.
Yeah, like when it first started happening, I'm like listening to these people, and I'm like, are they fucking talking in some sort of code that I'm just not hip with? And then I'm like, oh yeah, you can't say this or that, or you'll get plucked. Ridiculous.
Plucked,
yeah,
for real.
And Facebook, I've tried to get kicked off of Facebook several times.
I know you can.
For some reason, I've never been kicked off Facebook. I've quit a few times, but yeah, but that but they were.
You were pushing it.
I was pushing it pretty hard there for a bit. But yeah, like I'm seeing, I'll get a message like they were dinging the show. You've gone against community guidelines by showing pornography or nudity. I'm like, what? Where are you fucking pulling that out of your ass from? But then as I'm like, debating that, saying, hey, show me where there's nudity in my show or pornography. Meanwhile, over on my sidebar, I see, naked girls getting banged on Facebook. And I'm like, what the?
Or a monkey jerking off.
Yeah. I'm like, this is like right in your face right here. But yeah,
the monkey's literally jerking off.
You're going to ding our show for something that's
I got dinged for a sun in the sky, and they said that was sexual content, adult content, sexual content, and adult situations, whatever the hell. I'm like, it's the sun.
Exactly. Son of a, yeah.
And it didn't even look like anything weird. It was like, obviously, the sun.
Just like on Facebook Marketplace, I had a pair of shoes that I put on there, and it like it says on the box, clinically proven to help your back. And Facebook like pulled the ad down, and I'm like, what the hell, So I put it back up, and they pulled it down again, and I'm like, what the hell? So I'm digging through my email, and they said I couldn't advertise this pair of shoes because you can't give medical advice. And it was because the shoes said on the box, medically proven to help improve back problems. And I'm like, seriously, you jackasses.
I'm a dangerous person or organization because I was warning people against the PG&E rolling blackouts a few years ago, and I gave them a link, and I said, if you want to see if you're scheduled for a shutoff, type in your zip code here. It'll tell you if you're scheduled. Well, they said I'm trying to obtain sensitive information from people, and therefore I am a dangerous person or organization. I put it in appeal. Oh, we'll get to it within 2 to 5 days. It's been 2 or 3 years now. So as long as they don't look at that, I keep the flag as being dangerous. Oh, no, that was the cybersecurity one.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember why I'm a dangerous organization, but yeah.
Yep. You troublemaker, you.
I know. And then it all comes out to be true, which is so funny. Like everything that they like have listed and said, "Oh, it's against community standards. This is false information." And give me like a US Today ad or whatever the hell that they attached to it. Now it's coming out, it's true. So it's like you want to erase those strikes that, obviously I wasn't lying about.
Yeah.
But they have all those ridiculous posts all the time from Facebook, like, "Oh, Facebook, blah 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 blah, blah some stupid crap." I'm like, fix my shit.
I posted something. I can't even remember what it was, and it was like, you can't post misinformation. So I just reposted. It's the same with the other video that I kept getting dinged for it. Or not video, but the Facebook ad. I just kept reposting it and reposting. I'm like, fucking kick me off. Yeah, just kick me off. That'll solve the problem. But they never did.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep reposting it until you guys get tired of me. And you either just let it go or you kick my ass off of there. One or the other. I don't care either way.
I think they keep me though because and they just give me little slaps on the wrist because some of the things I talk about and people I talk to might be considered like the type of people that might group up for certain type of things.
Yeah.
And so I think like they just watch to make sure like, ooh, are they recruiting people? Are they going to do something like as a way to still spy? But then like, but you can't use Messenger for 2 days or access your groups.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. For a while there, you were getting in trouble all the time. And
Yeah. And now they're doing
I
it
was
again.
just trying to get there and I just couldn't do it.
I'm like, I'll still exploit your platform to put the truth out there. Yeah, you can do what you want with it, but guess what? I'm going to use your stuff to not only exploit what's going on in the world, but your ass too on your stuff until you pull it anyway.
I made a post, I think it was yesterday, and I went to post it and it was like, you should reword your comment so it's not offensive or something like that. I'm like, no, I said what I said, and if you don't like it, I remember I posted something, I don't know, it was like a year ago, and it was something stupid like you see going on right now with people out in the road, like trying to stop cars. Dude, you're never gonna win that battle. You're never gonna win that battle. Never.
Pushing the semi.
Yeah. You're just never gonna win that. And I posted something like, dude needs a old-fashioned ass beating or something. And yeah, they came down on me hard on that one, but they didn't do anything about it. But they're like, you can't use hate speech. I'm like, I didn't say I hated him. I just said he needed an ass beating. There's a big difference, I got an ass beaten plenty of times when I was a kid. Smacked upside the head, It's like, oh shit, I won't do that again. Learning experience. Yeah, I got to check out your channel, Nate. Is it under your name like that right there? It seems like I tried to get to it last week and something happened. I got sidetracked. Ooh, look, a squirrel. I got sidetracked really easy.
Oh, that's what N8 is. Nate.
Yeah, he's old school from way back in the vaping days. Used to do the vaping show with Robert way back in the day.
Nate Knox.
Cool.
Oh yeah, the reels are horrible, and ooh, and now like if you go to post something, it goes any post you make, they say, "Do you want to turn this into
Yeah.
a reel?" No, 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 no. Finally, last night it says snooze these like questions for like 30 days. So I put up a post and I see in my notifications so and so liked your reel. I'm like, liked my reel. Someone like some astrology post I did, whatever, got turned into a flipping reel.
Yep.
Like I didn't say okay to that. I couldn't turn it off. But the reels are horrible. It's like all robotic AI stuff. It's disgusting stuff. It's like stuff that's even too weird like for me. I still look
Yeah.
at it, but it's still too weird
Yeah, I
for
come
me.
across stuff every once in a while, and I'm just like, I thought I'd seen everything and every weird thing. Obviously, I haven't.
Because once you open like one damn thing, like TikTok, they're like, "Oh, you want more of this?" And then you have to say not interested, not interested, not interested.
Yeah. Well, I just subscribed, Nate. So you got another subscriber. That's how you build them, one at a time. Or you can go on and
Yep.
pay, and get like 500 followers for $49, but never done that.
Some
That's why
some people
I have.
gauge their self worth to their numbers, and I think that's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
I've never really paid attention. I mean, I was like I freaked out when I got 10 subscribers the first time. It's like, holy shit, there's 10 people. That's amazing. And
I just subscribed to.
then I got 100, then I was like, woohoo. And then I just like quit following the numbers. And I have a few YouTube friends, and that's all they were talking about was the numbers, the subscribers, and I'm like, yeah, I don't even know how many I have, but I have to go look, and I've had a YouTube channel forever, and I've got maybe almost 2,000, I don't know, 1,800, something like that.
Because we're not like, hey, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like and subscribe, smash that like button, like every 5 minutes, hit the button, subscribe. Let me see. I've got a whole 339 subscribers. I I did lose a lot when it was like constant.
Yeah,
PUBG.
so did I. That's what I was saying. My channel is so eclectic. Yeah, I get messages from people and they're like, dude, you have like a crazy mind. You're just like, I can't, people with OCD
Master of nothing, doer of
OCD,
everything.
they can't deal with my channel because it goes in like 10 different directions at once.
He's got a lot of interests and hobbies.
I like to stay busy doing stuff. Maybe this week it's fishing, next week it's riding a bike, next week it's shooting a bow and arrow,
Next week is sitting with your singing bowls in the park.
Doing a little paranormal stuff, doing a little bit of this.
Some geocaching, some magnet fishing, some fossil finding, some shark tooth looking.
Yeah, I want to go fossil hunting again. I want to go over to the Gainesville area and do some fossil hunting in the creeks. But damn, it's getting hot here. It seems to be getting hot early. And right about the time I'll be able to go back out and play disc golf, it's going to be like hotter than Satan's anus in a forest fire. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll do cornhole because it's in the evenings at least. And I'll be fishing.
That wasn't a good follow up.
Do fishing like early morning, like before the sun comes up. Yeah, my last follow-up visit, they were harping at me before about doing cardiac rehab, which I don't mind doing, except for the guy, the nutritionist guy that was like, "Oh, we're going to put you on a strict plant-based diet." And I'm like, "No, that's not going to work." "Oh, no, you got to do that. You got to do that if you ever want to lose weight." And I'm like, "Dude, I've already lost 69 pounds doing it the way I'm doing it. I don't think I need a plant-based diet." And yeah, so I was like, we're not going to get along because he was just insistent on it. And then it's 3 times a week in Jacksonville, which it takes me like almost an hour to get to downtown Jacksonville, depending on traffic. And I'm just not down for that 3 times a week. I'm like, you guys got to have an office like closer to St. Augustine. Nope. So
What does that mean by love pieces? How it says she's purple. She has a purple box, and it says paired.
Yeah, you've been a subscriber for a long time.
Yeah, thank you.
I have no idea what that means. Never seen that before.
She would be happy to know that you are the only one with a purple box that's the same color purple as the frame around us.
Lori's got a purple box.
Everybody else's is like at least it's not purple waffle. Everybody else's is like a periwinkle gray.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what that means.
Hatchet throwing, that's fun. I love knife throwing and hatchet throwing.
Yeah, I got some Smith and Wesson throwing knives. I'm dangerous with those things. And we played a gig at this place, I don't know, like over in Bunnell or somewhere like inland from here. And they had axe throwing and indoor axe throwing. I'm like, man, add some alcohol to this game and you could have catastrophe. But I had to give it a shot. I sucked at it pretty bad, but it was fun. I could get into it. But yeah,
you sucked at axe throwing? No, it's
it was funny. There was like a group of people there. It's this big like steak restaurant kind of Ponderosa style place, and they were having cornhole. It was a huge place, they got live bands, cornhole, axe throwing, all kinds of stuff going on all at once. And there was a group of people in there, and this one little girl, and I say little, I don't mean young. Well, I mean, she was young. She's probably in her 20s. But she was just little. She was like 5 foot and weighed like 100 pounds. And she got up there and she's holding the axe, and she's like, "These are heavy." And she fires one at the target. Boom, dead center. Like all 3 axes that she threw each time were like, one would hit the axe that she just threw. I'm like, damn, you might want to like take this hobby up. And all her friends were like, what the hell? You're like a pro.
Women are typically kind of better when it comes to like shooting.
Yeah.
And axe throwing, like things like that, archery for some reason.
Yeah.
And it's not beginner's luck. It's like women will just kind of come up and boom.
Yeah. Yeah. When, I first got into archery, I mean, I was doing like 3D tournaments and stuff. Me, when I get into something, I just go all out. But Darcy, I got her a bow, a little Matthews bow. She's never shot one before. And very first day, she's like pinning it like right in the bullseye. And I'm like, what the hell? I come home one day and she's out there practicing by herself. And the string had been hitting her arm because she was like,
her
arm in, and the string had been hitting her arm. And her freaking arm was like black and purple. And I'm like, oh, hell no. Went and got her arm guard.
Yeah, she needs the guard.
But she just kept shooting. And yeah, she's like dead accurate with a bow. I'd go to like some of these tournaments, and I placed like third a couple of times, but you know, most of my shots were like, pew! Oh shit, I lost that arrow. It went out in the woods somewhere, 5 feet away from the target I was shooting at.
I have a bow and arrow, and I have a dart one with like the darts, like a little compound. My dad had got me one of each for well, he got one of each for each of us for Christmas one year.
Yeah.
He had me open mine first, and he opened his. My mom was like, "You're getting her bow and arrows for Christmas." I'm like, "This is sick."
Yeah. Yeah.
But he was
What's that?
he put up a target like on the side fence in the neighborhood, you know, and like fences have slats, and he put up like a board, but one of the arrows one day went right through the side of the fence. I'm like, no more.
Yep. Yeah, it was cool out where I used to live, you know, when I lived out on the river, because I had a archery range in my yard. I had a deer set up. I had a couple of big bags set up. And I also had a big metal frame I could hang all kinds of stuff to shoot at, like with guns. Yeah. And when I first moved over here, I was shooting my bow and arrow in the backyard, and I still do occasionally. But now I got neighbors all around me. I bought a recurve bow cut several years back. It's hanging on the wall right over here. And it's pretty cool. It's, you know, like old style kind of typical bow and arrow looking. And it's pretty lightweight. What was that?
Great. I have another one too, but here's one of my favorite colors.
Yep. I used to have those a long time ago, and I have no idea what happened to them.
The other one has like a bunch of little things that come off of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you have this metal spinning plates also like set up, or you like just go plunk? Yeah. That's cool.
Yep. Yeah, I used to shoot my bow a lot more here in the backyard, and that's kind of why I got the recurve, just because I wanted to kind of go old school bow and arrow. Because my compound bow, I mean, that thing's badass. I mean, it'll like, it's like as powerful as a gun, pretty much. The recurve, it's like 35, 40 pounds, I think, 40 pounds maybe. So it's.
But just shooting like the bow and arrow is so sick.
Yeah, I love doing that. Yeah, I got a dart board set up in my house, and had quite a few holes in the wall at first.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm decent at it now. Yeah, I've got into playing. You know, since having the heart attack, I bought a bocce ball set like 2 years ago, brand new, and horseshoes. Never used it, you know. And we were driving around one night, and I'm like, I had them in the car, and I'm like, hey, let's go to the bocce ball court. You know, we never played. I didn't even know how to play, and just looked it up, you know, on the internet. I'm like, oh, that's how you play. We got really nice bocce ball courts here, and I'm like, okay, this is cool. This is kind of low impact, you know. I was doing that a few weeks after I had my surgery, you know, because can't lift anything over 5 pounds. And I'm like, oh, okay, a bocce ball weighs like 1.5 pounds. So I'm good. I went fishing the other day for the first time and casting and everything. I was like, yeah, this is okay. I can do this. Nothing's hurting. My doctor told me I can do whatever I want, but if anything hurts, to stop. I've been out to the disc golf course a few times. I haven't like thrown really hard. I've putted and, you know, just thrown some easy shots, but I haven't like unleashed 100% power yet. I'm still kind of sketched out on that. Gonna wait till my chest heals up a little bit better. And I still have these like where I had 4 holes across me. The one on the left was the biggest hole where all the drain tubes and stuff were. And I'm having like abdominal pain, like where that hole was. And they're like, yeah, you know, we like went through some muscles in your diaphragm and blah, blah, blah. So that's kind of normal. And I'm like, okay, well, at least it's normal. It sucks, but it's normal. It hurts, but at least it's normal. But then I had the pain in my back, my shoulder, and I fixed that somehow by lifting something I wasn't supposed to, probably. But something popped, and that pain went away. Hasn't come back. But now I have this pain, like when I lift my arms, like up high, like my ribs kind of. I don't know how to explain it, but like up high, my ribs on both sides, like hurts like hell. It's just like, oh, cool, another mystery pain. Awesome. Yeah, same with me, Craig. I got into nunchucks really bad. Yeah, butterfly knives, throwing stars, nunchucks. I remember I got pretty good with nunchucks until I was showing off one day and I almost knocked myself out. Good old hickory stick, whack right in the head. I was like, I don't like nunchucks. They give me a headache. I still have a friend that uses nunchucks, and yeah,
Nunchucks can be the
he's pretty wicked with them. They go so fast you can't even see what he's doing. I'm like, you ever hit yourself in the balls with those
I was
things?
just gonna say, does he do like the whole under the leg things?
Yep. Yeah, Bruce Lee movies, man. That was it.
Darts are fun.
Yeah.
I have my butterflies. I thought I had one in my pot right here in my drawer, but it was a really big switchblade.
Yeah, I've got some switchblades and a couple butterfly knives, and then we got these weird like daggers, like with fantasy art and stuff on them.
Oh yeah, I got that.
Yeah.
I have like knives everywhere in here.
Yep.
Like I have knives in almost like every. Press the button on this one. Oh
Yeah. I remember the first day that Nora came over here with Sam. You know, I was like just sitting there, and she's running around the house, and all of a sudden I'm like, holy shit. I was like, keep an eye on her and give me like 5 or 10 minutes. And she's like, why? And I'm like, dude, I got like guns in every room and knives laying around and sharp tools.
Yes, flashlights and bats
everywhere.
Oh my.
I got a toddler's nightmare house, It's like I don't have kids, so I don't got to worry about that. But yeah, anytime she comes over, I'm like hiding all the guns and all the knives and, sharp scissors.
Oh, I used to always play that game. Like when you like go wait.
Yeah.
And then have your fingers back and forth, or you're sitting there.
And Darcy had a gun. She has a gun. And it was in the console of the couch. Like there's a little lift up box in the console of the couch. And it was it's a 380, a Walther 380, but it's pink. It's like Pepto-Bismol pink. And I'm like, oh yeah, a little girl's gonna open it and see a pink gun and think, oh, that's a cool toy. Let me play with that. And I'm like, oh hell no. Gotta give me a few minutes to rearrange my house. To de-toddlerize my house. Yeah. So my friends got a bath, guns in the bathroom, guns in the living room, 3 guns in the kitchen.
It reminds me of that like 50s commercial for something, and I can't remember what it was.
I can close my eyes. I can close my eyes and just reach out.
Boom, there's a gun. At supper time.
Yeah, speaking of gun, there's a 9mm Smith & Wesson, a Lady Smith. Could be for sale if somebody's interested. Things like brand new. It's a friend of mine's, and I don't know how I ended up with it.
I don't like the body on it. I'm very picky about the lines.
Yeah. One of my favorite guns, well, one of my favorite guns is another one. I can reach in this direction, find one. It's an old Smith & Wesson 1911. This thing is badass.
Those
It's
are classics.
Yeah, it's so badass. Darcy was afraid of it because it's a 45, and she was like, "That thing is going to kick too much." And I'm like, "Just shoot it. It's heavy as hell, so it doesn't have that much recoil." And she shot it one day.
And if it's balanced right.
Yeah. And she shot it a bunch, and she was like, "This is my favorite gun." We're leaving the range. She's like, "If anything ever happens," she's like, "If anything ever happens between you and me, I'm keeping this gun." I'm just telling you right now. I'm like,
I had an HK 45 Navy SEAL edition. It was badass, but it got stolen.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you can show guns. I've got gun videos on YouTube. Never had a problem with those. But my vaping videos from 15 years ago.
These are all props. Everything he's showing are just props.
Yeah, they're just plastic.
You can find the real ones at your local gun store. But
purposes.
All of this stuff are props from Amazon. Those are Halloween knives from Amazon.
Yeah. I did buy I've got a couple of Glocks, which I've never been a fan of Glocks, but I have a couple now. Well, it's not like I just got them. I've had them for a while, but I have a 9mm, and then one of the ones that I carry is a 380. It's a little Glock that's pretty sweet, and I bought the 22, which is the same frame and size and everything as the 9, because I figure, I can practice with it and it's not going to cost me a shitload of 9 all day. So then I bought a Glock BB gun or pellet pistol, whatever. That's the same frame, same weight and everything. I mean, looking at them side by side, they're hard to tell the difference, except, it has a CO2 cartridge that goes in instead of a magazine. But yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Did you know you can actually switch the barrels out on some of those, so you can it'll take like both rounds, so you can practice like with 22 ammo in your.
Yeah, it was funny. I bought the Glock 22, and it got horrible reviews. Like everybody was like, "It's real ammo picky. You can't shoot cheap ammo in it, or it'll."
Like federal.
Yeah, you got to use really good ammo, and you got to keep it super clean. I got that thing, and I probably shot at least 3,000 rounds through it before I ever even cleaned it, and it was all kinds, federal, Fiat, like every brand, like from cheap ammo to expensive ammo. It just shoots everything. I've never had a problem with that gun ever. But the reviews at first, man, people were hating it. And I've never had a problem with mine. Never had it like really misfire. Maybe once out of I don't know how many rounds have been through that gun. But yet I bought a Smith. Well, it's a what is it, MP9, whatever. It's Smith & Wesson, the Shield, Easy Shield, and I got the custom shop one, whatever, the fancy. It's like gold, looks like a pimp gun. It's like got all this gold accents on it and everything. That gun has been a pain in the ass. I bought it for an everyday carry gun, and I was shooting it one day at the range, and it started acting really stupid, and I stopped shooting it, and I looked down, and I'm like, oh, that's why, because it's missing a big chunk of the gun. It wasn't feeding right and everything, and it cracked part of the slide, and I'd only had it like that was like maybe the second time I'd shot it. So I took it back to the guy I bought it from. And he's like, oh, he didn't see what was wrong with it at first. And I'm like, dude, look, it's fucking missing a part of the gun. You don't see it because it's not there, but it's supposed to be there. So yeah, sent it back, Smith and Wesson, and they treated me right. They fixed it. I don't know. They didn't fix it. They just replaced it. I still got the same frame, but everything on the gun had been changed. And I got it back, and I had it for like a week, and then I got a recall on it, so I had to send it back again. And I've shot it since then, and it's been okay. And like I say, they treated me really. I mean, it didn't cost me a penny to send it back twice, but I've always been kind of hesitant as far as using it for an everyday carry gun now, because I'm like, I don't have confidence in it. You know, you want a gun that's not gonna fail you in the time of need that you might need it. But it looks cool.
I was the same way with like Glock for like ever, like since God, what the 80s, 90s, like whatever. Anytime anybody said Glock, I'm like, eh,
Yeah.
eh. But yeah, the past few years, or a little more than a few years, they've really changed to where uh, you know who got one, and I was really, really surprised. I think it only jammed up once and or misfired, and it was because a piece of crappy ammo did end up in the mix. Because we
Right.
bought like a bunch of reloads.
Yep. Yeah. Speaking of Glocks, there's one right there. It's
A replica of a Glock.
what's that?
A replica of a Glock.
Is what you had?
No, you.
Oh, this is the BB gun.
Oh, the
Looks like a Glock. Same size as the 9 and the 22, except even when you look at the barrel, it's like a full size looking barrel. So when you pop the magazine out, it's just this tiny little thing.
so Florida doesn't make you put the orange on the end of the barrel.
Well, we won't talk about that.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I just have it for the house, like not for the house, but
Yeah,
just for
messing around.
shooting varmints in the backyard. When I had my garden going, I'm like, yeah, I need a BB gun. These damn rabbits are going to eat all my vegetables, and they don't.
No, Robert.
They don't eat any of the vegetables though. There's rabbits out in my yard yesterday, and God, they gotten huge. This year's rabbits are like, I don't know what they're eating, but man, they're growing like crazy. Probably something, steroids or something in the grass, chemicals that they're spraying or something. But yeah, my dog is out there, and she's like literally like 10 feet away from him, and she's looking at him like, what the hell are that? Why aren't they running? They're just sitting there like munching on the grass and stuff. They didn't care she was sitting there. They're like, we ain't running, dog. We'll kick you and mess you up. My dog, since they weren't running, she was just like, looks back at me. I don't know what to do.
Well, we better get to some of these
Yeah.
because my nose is just starting to.
Yep. My first one is, I think Craig sent me this one. Boom.
Ooh.
Boom. 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 Share.
Let's take down that post to. I can't do it. Yeah, from my end. Let's just see the whole. And then our pictures disappeared. There you go. We're getting the hang of it.
Sort of kind of ruins found in Canadian wilderness baffle archaeologists. The archaeologists are just like, I'm baffled. I don't know what to say. I don't know if they're that baffled, but it says archaeologists remain baffled by seemingly a historical find located deep in the Canadian wilderness. But after years of research, analysis, and historical corroboration, an interdisciplinary team has finally made their findings available to the public. Tucked away in a forest approximately 465 miles northwest of Ottawa, a massive slab of bedrock features a hand etched, not etched, but etched rendition of the full Lord's Prayer. But the religious text isn't inscribed in French or English. It's composed of over 250 symbols from the oldest known runic alphabet. The perplexing discovery happened completely by chance, according to the CBC. Hidden for centuries, the stone became exposed only after a tree fell near the town of Wawa. There's a Wawa right down the road from me. When I used to eat stuff, they have great macaroni there. Different kind of Wawa, though. Not far from Lake Superior, closer inspection showed that someone had etched 255 ruins into roughly a 4 by 5 foot section of the slab. Additionally, they took the time to add detailed illustration of a boat, an additional 16 runic signs, and 14 X markings. Photos of the site wound up in front of Ryan Primrose, a president of the Ontario Center for Archaeological Education, not expedition, who was immediately stunned by the images. He was set aback. It's certainly among the least expected discoveries of my career. It's absolutely fascinating. The Futhark ruins. However, Primrose didn't want anyone jumping to conclusions. God, I can't talk tonight. Rented lips. About the inscription. While it's true that Vikings explored portions of the present-day Canada thousands of years ago, he doubted they were responsible for the mystery message. We didn't want to release anything publicly until we had done much analysis as possible, said Primrose. He soon contacted Uppsala University emeritus professor of ruinology Henrik Williams and helped the renowned expert arrange a visit to the site the following October. I was under a tarp for 3 hours with a flashlight looking at the ruins, and the others were sitting outside freezing, recalled Williams. The group's patience and endurance paid off. Williams eventually determined that the message was written with Futhark alphabetic ruins. I'm probably demolishing that word. First developed and used by Germanic peoples between the 2nd and 8th centuries CE. Futhark eventually evolved into a simplified version adopted by Scandinavians. Both the Anglo-Saxons and the Frisiaks also expanded it into their own variants, but the knowledge of how to read its original iteration died out by the High Middle Ages, around 1000 to 1300. It wouldn't be until 1865 that Norwegian scholar Sophus Buggy, I don't know, finally succeeded in deciphering the long-lost language. People across Europe remained fascinated with the ruins in the interim. However, during the early 1600s, Swedish polymath and occultist Johannes Burris adopted the symbols into a system that roughly corresponded to his home country's language. This culminated into a publication of Swedish language. The Lord's Prayer was written with the Futhark ruins in 1611. But don't think the Canadian oddity story ended there. And it goes on talking about much more of it. I'm not going to read the whole article there. But yeah, I don't know. It's weird when you find those things that, nobody knew they existed, and then they're found, and then everybody's like, what the hell is it? I don't know. What is it? I don't know. What is it? Oh, I know what it is. Yeah. Reminds me of the old Cheech and Chong. What's that?
I think they're coming. Weren't they coming out with another movie?
I think so.
Anyways, I was putting up the. I looked up California right quick because I think was it Nate who said you can order them with or without the orange. I didn't think California changed,
Yeah, this
but
came with the little orange thing. I still have it here somewhere, but several of my guns have come with that in it. Some of the shotguns that I have had an orange plug in the end, or not. Like the revolvers and stuff had the little orange thing, like by the hammer. But
yeah,
anyways,
because this says like the BB guns and airsoft have to have an orange tip, but there's additional requirements like airsoft 6 or 8 millimeter. Law requires more than just the tip.
yeah,
If configured as a handgun, they need to have a fluorescently colored trigger guard and a fluorescent band around the pistol grip. If
yeah,
configured as a rifle or long gun, they need a fluorescent trigger guard and fluorescent bands on any two of the following pistol grip, butt stock, or ammunition magazine. They
yeah,
got lots of laws, of course. It's illegal to alter or remove the orange tip or other required markings on the devices.
yeah. This one, I mean, like I say, it's like the official weight and same frame and everything as the other Glocks that I have. Like if you were to walk in somewhere holding this, people are
Oh,
gonna
for
think
sure.
it's a yeah. I mean,
If
it's
you point that at someone, you're going to get shot.
yeah, without a doubt, because even the barrel, like looking in the barrel, a lot of BB guns, they had, there's
Yeah,
shoots a BB. I mean,
that
this,
looks like a barrel.
yeah, it looks like the barrel of a gun. I mean, it looks like a 9 millimeter barrel. It's like as authentic as you can get.
Yep.
I used to have one that was, it was a 357 revolver, but it was a BB pellet gun, same weight, everything, and yeah, I was
A
living in
revolver pellet gun. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was living in a place out on the beach, and my landlord just like came in my house one morning,
Oh, no.
and I was like laying. It was like 7 in the morning, and I was in bed, and I hear these footsteps. Boom! My bedroom door comes open. I'm laying in bed holding a pistol. Like bitch, please. He backed up pretty quick. Like, don't be just walking in my house like that, coming in my bedroom. What the hell are you thinking?
I was coming out of the shower once at a apartment in Fresno, and like the maintenance guy was letting me borrow the hose because I had this whole really cool garden that I built onto my balcony with lattice and all this stuff. Anyway, I had the hose. He wanted it back. I didn't answer the door because I was in the shower. I come out the shower in my towel. He's coming off of the balcony with the hose. I'm just looking at him like, the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I was livid.
Hmm. So which one are you
All
doing
right.
first?
The soft robot, the
Okay.
no brain robot. Wacky Wavell inflatable arm guy. No, first is the thumbnail though. No brain, no problem. Too bad it didn't apply to people. This
Yeah.
soft robot
I think
thinks
it
with
does.
its legs. Huh?
I think it does these days. You don't
I
have to have
think so.
common sense.
You really don't. A research team from AMOLF in Amsterdam has created a soft robot that walks, hops, and swims, all without a brain, electronics, or AI. Just soft tubes, air, and some clever physics. The study published in Science described one of the latest soft robots yet, and one of the simplest. It has no computer, no software, and no sensors, and still it moves with surprising coordination and not autonomy, simply because of its body and how it interacts with the world. So, what's really driving it? Underneath the movement is a principle you've probably seen, though maybe overlooked. Think of those wobbly inflatable tube dancers flailing around from the gas stations. The same physics that make them wiggle could hold the key to the next generation of autonomous robots. Powered by a continuous stream of air alone, each of the robot's soft tubular legs begins to oscillate, not unlike those tube dancers. On its own, each leg waves around randomly, but when they are coupled together, something unexpected happens. Their motions quickly synchronize, falling into rhythmic locomotion gaits. Suddenly, order emerges from chaos. There's no code, no instructions. The legs simply fall into sync spontaneously, and the robot takes off. As with fireflies flashing in synchro uh, together, or heat cells pulsating in unison, complex collective motions arise from simple interactions. And it's fast. When a flow of air is given as input, the robot hits 30 body lengths per second. Relatively speaking, a Ferrari reaches only 20 lengths per second. The speed is orders of magnitude faster than the other air-powered robots, which typically require centralized control. Even more surprising, how it synchronizes adapts. If the robot runs into an obstacle, it reorientates itself. When it moves from land to water, the gate spontaneously shifts from an in-phase hopping pattern to a swimming freestyle. These transitions happen without any central processor or control logic. Instead, movement emerges from the tight coupling between body and environment. In biology, we often see similar decentralized intelligence, explains the co-author. Sea stars, for example, coordinate hundreds of tube feet using local feedback and body dynamics, not a centralized brain. The research challenges the conventional ideas that robots need complicated control systems to realize lifelike behavior. Simple objects like tubes, there you go, can give rise to complex and functional behavior, provided we understand how to harness the underlying physics. Oh, Homeboy prefers not to call it a robot at all. Over Velde. There is no brain, no computer. Essentially, it's a machine, but when properly designed, it can outperform many robotic systems and behave like an artificial creature. Possible future applications range from smart pills to space tech, safe micro robots without microelectronics that can be swallowed and release drugs after autonomously reaching the target tissue, robotic wearable exosuits that sync to the walking steps without processors, reducing their power consumption while enhancing human strength. Autonomous mechanical machines are suited for extreme environments like space, where traditional electronics may fail. More broadly, these examples illustrate how this research opens doors to mechanical systems that behave as if they had a computer without actually needing one. With this work, the team hopes to inspire new ways of thinking about robotic design, simpler systems that are more adaptive and robust, not through computation and AI, but through physics. It reminds me of something we used to play with in the bathtub or something.
Yeah. It reminds me of what's that thing they have out in the desert? Black Rock.
ships. Oh,
Burning Man.
oh yeah.
It reminds me of like some of the weird things you see out there, like those big things that are just made out of wood or whatever, and there's like they just walk, big weird looking robot-y thing.
They've got crazy inventions. My buddy's a DJ out there, and he always every year shows all the photos. He has like a big sound car and sound stage and everything, and they do their display his Venom boat. But some of these things they do are just crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to that one of these years days.
Just to check it out.
Yeah,
I haven't been. I haven't been to Coachella. I don't want to go to Coachella,
yeah,
but I haven't been to Burning Man. I hate when people bring their animals though. Like hella guy people will bring like their cats, and then like at the end of it, you see all these people like, "Oh, help me! I can't move my cat. My cat ran off." It's like you can't be like doing hella drugs, walking around with your cat in your backpack.
yeah.
They have like these buddy finder necklaces. They call it like connecting. They go, "Can I connect with you?" And you like connect the necklaces, and then you see like where your friends are or something. It's like, but they don't always work. They have all this like crazy stuff. But the cats just take off. It's like, man, you can. And one person that I knew said they had to leave their cat behind. I'm like, that's so messed up. They like looked and looked, but couldn't find it.
Yeah, we read an article just a couple of weeks ago. Some people were out in the desert in Nevada somewhere, and they had a dachshund, and it got out of the camper and it was all freaked out, and it ran away. And they looked and looked and looked for it for like 2 weeks, and they had to leave, and they had to leave the dog, and they were like, it's probably dead by now. And it was like a year later, they kept seeing this little wiener dog on a trail cam or something, and they ended up getting the dog back like after a year and a half.
Their actual dog?
Yeah, it like lived in the wild for like a year. It's crazy.
Oh, I'm so happy. Wow.
But yeah, I got some
Yeah, you
friends.
don't bring animals to stuff like that. You don't bring kids.
Yeah.
You don't bring animals.
I got some friends that go to Burning Man every year, and they do a lot of like kites and like weird like mobiles, and just I don't even know how I don't know how to describe what they do. It's like this weird kinetic art stuff that they do, and a lot of it kind of revolves around kites, but some of it stays on the ground, but it's still like wind powered. They do some cool stuff. But yeah, they go out there.
Like people think it's like a bunch of like dumb, like, drug addict hippies, this and that though. But there's a lot of skill behind a lot of these things that come out of it.
Yeah, like some of the projects that my friend does, I'm just like, where do you come up with this? How do you figure out how to do this and make it work,
Yeah, and some of the sculptures are just incredible. Oh no.
Yeah, U.S. man flew for free 120 times by pretending to be a flight attendant. You think, TSA and security and everything. This dude pretended to be a flight attendant and just flew his ass for free. Apparently. Let's see what it says. I haven't read this one yet. A 35-year-old spent years exploiting a loophole in the system to get out of paying for a plane ticket. While flying for free would seem like a pipe dream for most, one man Tyrone Alexander, managed to come up with an ingenious and very illegal way to get out of having to pay for anything at all on his flights. Between 2018 and 2024, he managed to fly free 120 times by misusing a system designed to allow flight attendants and pilots from other airlines to fly without having to buy a ticket. Using knowledge he gained as an actual flight attendant many years earlier, Alexander falsified his information when checking in so that the system believed that he was entitled to fly for free. Remarkably, he managed to get away with it for years because nobody ever bothered to check. So much for security. When filling the online form, he claimed to have worked for 7 different airlines and used approximately 30 different combinations of identification numbers and contract start dates, the prosecution said in a relation to the court case. In the end, Alexander was found guilty on 4 counts of wire fraud and also 1 count of accessing a restricted area. While he's yet to be sentenced, he could be facing a lengthy term in prison. Yeah, but it just makes you wonder how good the security on planes really is. They make it sound like, oh, you can't take that bottle of shampoo on the plane. You can't take that nail clipper. That's dangerous, but you got some dude, just some random dude that's like pretending to be a flight attendant that's flying for free. I guess he didn't bring nail clippers or shampoo, though, so I guess it's all good. No lighters or butane torches.
Oh, it looks like Cheech and Chong. It's on Prime Video. I was hoping it was like Peacock or Paramount.
Yeah.
Because they play all sorts of other movies on there,
Yep.
that just come out. Like they have Wicked on there. I see advertised all the time, and some other ones, but not Cheech and Chong.
I got stuck in a Purge marathon the other day.
Oh.
Like, I put one on. I'm just sitting there bored, and I'm like, okay, I've watched every YouTube video today. Let me actually watch an actual movie and play.
How many is there now?
I don't know, like 10 or something. I don't know. But it was like on autoplay. Like I nodded off, and like I woke up, and it's like another one's playing, and I'm like, wait, what's going? I don't remember these characters. Oh, it's a different movie, but the same Purge.
What stream was that?
I think it was on Netflix, maybe. It's funny. I get Netflix, Hulu, and Apple TV all for free through T-Mobile, through my phone company. They just added Hulu.
I was supposed to get one of them from like Metro, and I didn't sign up in time, and I don't know. But one I'm supposed to get, because I pay for Hulu, the cheaper tier, and I pay for Paramount because my sister pays for Peacock and gave me the password. And then she was paying for Paramount, but then she couldn't have both, so she got rid of Paramount. But Paramount has Beavis and Butthead, so I got that one. And then my mom pays for Netflix.
Yeah.
And we all just share passwords.
Yeah. Allegedly. Yeah.
When we're together.
Yeah, I hardly ever watch like regular TV. I'm pretty much just, we pay for YouTube, whatever, premium, so I don't have to watch all the freaking commercials, ads, whatever. And that's pretty much. What's that?
Is that YouTube TV?
I don't know. It's just, let me see what it says, actually. It just comes up as YouTube Premium. So
I
yeah,
have one of those Apple devices, like the Apple TV device. I got for Christmas a long time ago, but I don't know, like, if you have to pay for a subscription with that or not.
yeah. There's free stuff on Apple TV on the device,
Is
and then
there?
yeah, there's free stuff on there, and then you can get whatever Netflix, Hulu, this and that. You can get all that stuff with it, but you got to pay for it. Just like anything. Anybody know anything about the Super Box? Does anybody have one of those?
Super box.
Super Box. That's what she's eating. She got a
She's
super.
got a super box.
Now I've got a couple of friends that have. Somebody was telling me about it the other day, and they're like, "Yeah, get a Super Box." Oh, it's a girl in my band. She's like, "Yeah, we get a Super Box, and we get everything. We get pay per view, we get movies, HBO, Cinemax, Stars, like every movie channel, every movie available. She gets it all at no charge." And I'm like, "That's
With a
just
super,
highly illegal."
is that what was in the day we had black boxes?
Yeah.
Is that what a super box is?
I guess I don't know. Let me look it up real quick. Anybody
I
know
don't
what
know about Megan. I think it's like she reminds me of someone.
Super Box S5 Max Premium Edition? Walmart sells them supposedly. You can get them on Amazon. Newegg Super Box official website. Newegg, Amazon. Super Box is high performance streaming device with smooth, reliable connectivity. All new S6 model available right now. The 6th anniversary event. I don't know. I guess that's what it is. It's just this little thing looks like a modem or something. Flash sale was $7.99. Now it's $3.19. She said she. Ow, damn! Who put that mixer board right there in my way? She said she paid like almost $400 for hers, but it's a one-time thing, and she gets like every channel, everything of imaginable.
So does she think she's already paid off the cost of the box?
Yeah. Because she's always telling me about these movies, and I'm like, yeah, I don't have that channel or this channel or whatever. And she's like, oh, you need to get a super box. Infinite choices in one powerful box. Yeah, that's what she said.
It'd be cool to have like I don't want to pay for it. It'd be cool to have Amazon.
Amazon like Prime.
Like where you get the movies.
Yeah. I have that. I pay for Amazon Music because I listen to music every day. And I had Amazon, I had Spotify when I was doing the DJ thing, and I also had Sirius. I had like a 90-day free trial for Sirius, and I got that just because a few of my disc golf buddies, we like listening to this one DJ that comes on Saturday mornings, and but yeah, I got rid of everything except Amazon Music.
I
Just
had
because,
Spotify.
yeah, I like Spotify. I just got to where I couldn't afford both of them.
You
And
think Amazon Music's better?
I still like Spotify, maybe better because it's easier. I don't know. It's easier for me to make my own playlists and all that.
Yeah.
And I got a party coming up in another month or two that I got a DJ, and I'm gonna. That's how I do it, is stream music, because that's like the simplest thing now. I got albums and CDs and all that, but it's just like way easier just to stream everything. And people at the party can ahead of time give me a list of what music they want, and I can download it all and make my own playlist and just like hit play and just talk every once in a while. It's like stupid easy. And so yeah, I'll probably get Spotify back for that just because it's easy for me to do. I'll get another whatever 30-day trial for free.
Oh yeah, I had Pandora a long time ago.
Yep, I have that too.
All right, let's do this next one before my nose plugs up real bad because this is the UFO one. This one I was seeing when I typed in UFO in a lot of places. I don't know what to think about it. I always think that it's like convenient when stuff's going on for them about the UFO stuff. And they like, oh, this stuff doesn't exist, but it does, but it doesn't, but it does. But when they want us to like not pay attention to stuff, then it does. So this came out on the 17th, update on the 18th. U.S. military personnel captured an eerie flying saucer UFO in incredible new footage, and it says UFO, that has just been released to the public. Investigative journalists Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp say the video was recorded by government personnel over the Afghan-Pakistan border on November 2020. They released it to the public on Tuesday. It shows a massive disc weaving in and out of cloud cover. The DoD labeled the disc a UAP, and it looks markedly different to the other tic-tac shaped UFOs seen in recent military footage. The raw thermal imagery, along with 2 additional enhanced clips produced by the U.S. government, shows the unidentified craft abruptly changing direction, all without any visible signs of propulsion. This is the first time in history that military filmed footage of a disc-shaped UAP, designed as such by the military, has been captured on camera and released to the public, Corbell told Daily Mail, as implications that are huge. The object was spotted during a recon mission by a high-altitude Air Force platform, according to internal government slides. I just started getting this weird like vibration on my back just in one spot right here. I thought I was having like a really weird muscle spasm. Then I thought the cat was doing something, but like just my back right here just started vibrating. It's just really weird. The chair is not. So it threw me off. According to internal government slides, Corbell and Knapp have seen the UAP that they have seen. The UAP was described as navigating through clouds and characterized as a disc. The military's own internal enhancements, now made public, further underline the object's unusual heat signature or lack thereof. You do not see plumes of heat coming off this disc-shaped object, Corbell explained. This was captured on a thermal sensor. It should have detected heat if any traditional propulsion was present, but there's nothing. That's one of the wildest aspects. In simple terms, that means it is unclear exactly how the disk is being powered. Terrestrial aircraft tend to use jet or propeller engines, which can leave obvious trails across the sky. The footage was extensively studied within intelligence community investigations for years, known to those with high-level access but never intended for public release. Corbell and Knapp said they spent over 2 years validating the authenticity of the clips with multiple sources, including individuals who actively work in official U.S. government UFO programs. The source is legit. We know we know it's real, Knapp confirmed during the latest episode of their podcast, Weaponized. It was not supposed to be made public, but it should have been. The object is estimated to be between 200 and 400 meters in diameter. Though Corbell admits its exact size is still being debated, with further analysis required to offer more accurate perspective on its size. Oops. Wait. I think I'm almost there. There's a depth of field, there's relative distance, the shape's unknown, Corbell said, and the movement, and you can play the video if you want. Well, the movement's undeniable, Corbell said, and the shape is undeniable, Corbell said, and the movement, it's extraordinary. You're seeing it dip into clouds, then emerge and reverse direction. That's not an artifact. That's a real object in motion. Investigators have already begun poring over the footage, which includes geolocation data in the bottom left corner of the screen. Those coordinates point to the border region of Afghanistan and Pakistan, an active conflict zone with strategic surveillance interest. The public has a right and a need to know, Corbell said. This capture is worthy of serious discourse, not just in the UFO community, but in international and scientific conversations. It challenges our understanding of what's flying through our skies. Corbell and Knapp have not disclosed how they obtained the footage, only stating that it was leaked and that they took extreme precautions to protect sources. This is just the start, Corbell teased, and they give a background on Corbell, which we know. And yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty weird looking.
So this is from 2020.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely doesn't look like a plane or anything like that.
Or even the one that drops like the like the bombs that kind of looks like a what are those crabs, like a horseshoe crab kind of disc shape, and then they drop like the bee bombs down and then they fly the hell out of there. Those have a UFO type shape, but it would be more elongated on the back, and this is like not that kind of a shape. And are we looking like straight up at it? Like, is it flying sideways and sideways, or are we like looking straight up and we're looking at the bottom of it?
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
Like, if it was recorded from a plane, or this is somebody looking straight up.
Oh, pretty trippy. Yeah, it's weird the way it moves. All right, later, Nate. Thanks for stopping in.
Good night.
Yeah, I don't know. That's pretty trippy.
Yeah. I wonder why they're putting it out now.
Yeah. And there again, I wonder how much of it is an actual extraterrestrial or UFO. Well, I guess it's all a UFO or a UAP or whatever the hell you call it nowadays. I'm old school, still call it a UFO. But, you know, it's unidentified, so you don't know what it is. But is it ours or is it theirs? Or is it a combination of the both? Is it ours with help from them? Because I still think the only way we're going to get to Mars or any other planet, including the moon, is help with some outside force.
I think so.
I was watching a video the other day that guy that I show on here, Tyler, I forget what his last name is. He's the flat earth guy. And, you know, I'm like, I should go find the video and play it. Because I'm watching it and I'm like, this guy's full of shit. But I'm like thinking, he's got some really good points, though.
Sometimes there are really good, you know, because that's why I like to listen to stuff, because just because we've been taught one thing doesn't mean that, you know, we know everything, because that's what makes the most sense to us either when you look at stuff logically. And sometimes they will have points that are good, but then you go back and look at everything else and it's like, no. But sometimes,
Yeah.
I've kept it open to say I don't personally believe in it, but I'm not going to say it's not.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it is, but I'm not going to like bet money or anything.
Yeah. I'm looking at his videos right now, and I don't see
I
it.
have the belief that this is a video of Hillary.
If I find it, though, again, I'll play it next week. I'm like, man, I hate to say it, but he's like really making me think.
But that's good.
Yeah.
People should, I like that.
Yeah, he's talking about, you know,
Outside the norm.
he's like talking about Antarctica, how it's the highest elevation of any place on Earth. And he's showing these old maps that, and I mean, you can go look them up, like these old maps, and it shows like the world, and it's got this big white ring around it. And he's like, that's the Great Ice Wall, you know? And he's showing how the sun and the moon don't orbit, they go around. And, you know, you always hear these stories about, you know, this great ice wall, and he's like, there's a firmament over us. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. It's like, this guy's so full of shit, but at the same time, I'm like, but what if it is?
It still makes you like kind of wonder or think about it.
So I'm like, damn.
And you know, if we only talked to people that thought the way we thought or believed the way we believed, we would never evolve or break out of just
this is it.
staying in what you found.
I just found it. Let me see if this is it or not. I'm not sure. I'll play it instead of my next one. Okay. Is that showing up?
Yeah.
Right?
Is the sound
On
working?
planet Earth. Well, can you tell me something about it? Do you know anything about it? Can you tell me how big it is? How big in circumference is it? How close is it to the moon? How close is it to the sun? How close is it to the nearest planet? How close is it to the nearest star? What's the curve rate? Do you know how fast it's spinning? Do you know how fast it's revolving around the sun? Do you know how fast it's moving through the galaxy or through the universe? Do you know a single thing about it? Or were you just told you live here from the earliest age you can remember?
See, that's what I mean.
You see, I'm not asking these questions with judgment. I'm asking these questions from experience. When I thought I lived here, I didn't know anything about it. Oh, well, other than the cool fact I learned in astronomy class in college that always stuck with me, and that was that 1,000,000 Earths could fit inside the sun. I thought that was so cool. And I would actually tell people that. But then I heard that there were actually people out there that believed we lived on a flat Earth. So I'm like, I'm going to prove these idiots wrong real fast. So I learned the math and I learned the numbers and I learned that the sun was supposedly 93 million miles away and that the moon was supposedly 238,000 miles away and that the closest star, Proxima Centauri, is 4.24 light years away, which is about 24 trillion miles. And I learned that we are supposedly spinning 1,000 miles per hour on our axis and that the Earth is chasing the sun in a loop at 66,600 miles per hour and that it's traveling through the galaxy at 400,000 miles per hour and that the galaxy is traveling through the universe at 1.2 million miles per hour. And I learned all the things. And well, they didn't add up to me. Not at all. Because you start taking a deeper look and you look at how it says the Earth is traveling in all these different directions and speeds, never to return to the same place ever. And then you look and you see that, well, why do the pyramids always line up with the belts of Orion for thousands of years if we don't ever return to the same place? And if we're going 1,000 miles per hour and 66,000 miles per hour and 400,000 miles per hour and 1.2 million miles per hour and all in different directions, why do star trails look like that all the time? Almost like the top is spinning. You see, once you actually learn the numbers that they tell us, and you know things like the Earth is supposedly 24,901 miles in circumference. And even though they tell you it's too big to see curvature, they give you a specific curve rate because we supposedly know the curvature based on the circumference. And you can look and see things that are too far, supposedly, but you see them and you can zoom in on them and they're there. And well, you know it's not refraction, even though they tell you it's refraction and they tell you it's a mirage. And you know it's not a mirage because you're not a blooming idiot. You learn about it. When you actually learn about it, well, then you can crumble it down pretty easily. But Tyler, we have pictures. I mean, you're looking at a picture right now. Yeah, this was the one that was on all of our iPhones. Conveniently on all of our iPhones, right here. There it is. It's almost like they wanted to really make sure we knew we lived here. It's almost like it's propaganda. I mean, here it is right there. How can I argue it? Well, have you ever taken a closer look at it? It's called the Blue Marble. This is literally the picture from NASA that was put on our iPhones. Well, let's take a closer look, shall we? And see what we can find. I wonder if God ever gets lazy. Does God ever get lazy and he just hits copy and paste? Do you think he does that? Just hits copy and paste? Maybe he's having an off day. I found these clusters of clouds extremely interesting as well. Kind of looks like a bunch of dog faces next to each other, doesn't it? Have you ever seen my videos where I talk how they hide dogs and things? And that looks like a little dog face. There's one there. There's another one here. They're all over the place. But of course, I'm just kidding, people. I know that I live right down here, and I'm spinning 1,000 miles per hour right now. Don't you feel it? I encourage you to learn the numbers and learn about where they tell us we live. You'll quickly figure it out if you just spend the time. But of course, like I said, this is all for entertainment purposes. I know. I live down there. Entertainment only, people. Oh, and just for the people that are saying, why would they do it? Well, I've said it a million times, but the biggest reason is to make you think you're an evolved tadpole spinning endlessly in a Big Bang randomly created planet amongst trillions of other planets and take any sort of insignificance of who you are and where you are and who created it out of the picture. Because we live in a spiritual realm and there's spiritual warfare going on, and you probably don't realize that if you still think you live here. And that's part of it, is they don't want you to know. So you don't do anything about it. Well, guess what? I'm doing something about it. And I encourage you to, once you figure it out as well. Have a nice day.
Yeah, that wasn't the one that I watched, but yeah, he's got, you know, there's like some parts of
We're
it that
about
are
to
like,
test the guru.
no, we're not. There's some parts where you're like, this guy's batshit crazy, but at the same time, it's like he does have a point there.
Yeah. It's like I say, when we're kids, we're born, we're just told stuff and we believe what we're told because that's what
Yeah.
we've always known.
Yeah, I mean, like for things that he's got a point. I mean, yeah, like, Craig says a lot of flat earthers are, they're just like dead set on what they believe. And if you don't believe them, they think you're crazy. And yeah, I mean, I get it,
Yeah.
and that's can be on both sides. But it comes out more every day that like, like doing this whole carnivore diet, the lies and shit that they tell you about food, and like
Oh gosh, about
what's
salt
good for
and
you,
cholesterol.
Yeah, I mean, this is good for you. This is the food pyramid. This is what you should eat every day. And now it's like, yeah, don't. That
And
was
wear
then.
lots
This
of
is
sunscreen.
yeah. I mean, everything you've been taught, like, like Kennedy got assassinated. It was this guy that did it, and the book suppository, and
Magic bullet.
what you. Yeah, that's what you were told the whole time, and now it comes out that no, that's not really what happened. I mean, everything that we've been told and taught our whole life could just be a big crock of shit. I don't know if the earth.
Old Santa existed for a long time.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about the earth being flat. I mean, I've always seen it as a globe, and you see, people are like, you see pictures from space.
Look at Love's eyes behind me.
Yeah.
That
Trippy.
was good.
But you see pictures from space, you can tell the earth's round. I'm like, yeah, but are those real? And a lot of times the video that you see from space,
Like from the space station.
why are the cloud formations, why do they never change? Clouds move constantly. They don't just sit in one place. They're constantly moving. But yet you see a lot of video of the earth. And I get it that, that picture's taken and it's from far away, so you might not see the clouds moving in relation to reality. But still, it's like, this picture was taken at this time and this picture was taken at that time, and the freaking clouds are the same.
Yeah.
And it starts making you think, is that shit real? I don't know what's real anymore. You can't believe anything you read on the internet with AI. You can't believe what you read. You can't believe what you see. You can't believe what you hear. Before, a couple of years ago, you hear something and you could go look it up on the internet and do enough research and you could figure out what's right and wrong. But nowadays, I don't know. I mean, you see pictures of people and, whatever, celebrities or this person or that person, and you don't know if it's real. I mean, you got to go on instinct, your gut feeling. It's like I see some things and I'm just like, nah, shit doesn't sit right with me. And I usually trust my gut instinct on some things, but I don't know. Yeah, eggs were terrible for you. Yeah, you don't eat eggs. You can eat the whites, don't eat the yolks. Yeah.
Well, in the last 2 years, it was the eggs that caused the clots, and coffee caused the hypertension. And now it's weed causes hypertension. No, people didn't start dropping until the past few years, and people have been eating eggs and smoking weed and drinking coffee for a really long time.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. I just don't know what to believe anymore.
Land of illusion.
It is.
All smoke and mirrors, man. All of it.
Who sang that song, Land of Illusion?
Was it Phil Collins?
Maybe so, yeah. Had a point.
Or what was his
Genesis.
Genesis?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I looked up like some old maps of the Earth, and dude was right in the video. There, it shows the Earth with this big white border around it. I'm like,
I saw that.
what is that? You always hear these stories about, the great ice wall that, that keeps us in.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to believe. I think that's far fetched. My mind tells me that's bullshit, but there's part of it that's like, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah. Until it's proven not.
Yeah. Weird. I don't know.
Weird.
I still, everything in me wants to believe that we went to the moon. I sat there and watched it when I was a little kid, these moon missions and stuff. And
My mom watched it.
but then there's part of me that's like, I don't know, something doesn't sit right there. And then when you hear them, I don't know if we went there. I just find it bizarre that we went there in the early to mid 60s with basically that caveman technology, like tin and duct tape and
And that
balers,
suit.
and like we went there with that technology, and now a cell phone is like 100 times more powerful than the computer they used back then to get to the moon and back. But yet we can't get there now. Why? I don't understand that. Was it because we went there and saw something we weren't supposed to, and they're like, don't bring your ass back here for another 100 years? Maybe. I don't know.
Or holy shit, I ain't going back. But now they're having a race for the rare earth or for the minerals
Yeah. We're going to the moon to
mine the moon.
find the moon. And it's going to be, who owns it? How are they going to? This territory belongs to Russia. This territory belongs to the United States. And,
Well, how real Star Wars.
Yeah.
Because they're all getting ready. It's like a race to get up there. And then who's to say who owns what, Whoever throws their flag first, or you put down your claim.
Yeah.
Like claim jumpers.
Yeah. Yeah, Craig, like we went there, but what they released to the public is fake. Yeah, some of that footage, man. And I mean, and some of the footage they lost. It's like we did the most important fucking thing in the entire, last 100 years, and you fuckers lost the footage. How does that shit happen? How does that happen? You got that footage? Fuck, I don't know where we put it.
This is the government.
Yeah, I mean, how do you lose shit like that? You don't just, it's just like when you hear the government, all right, we misplaced $4.2 billion. How the
and
fuck?
That's what we should have to be able to fire him. Like, you're fired. You're not doing your job. We pay you. You're fired. You're not doing your job.
I mean, $4.2 billion would fill an entire room with money, and yet we don't know where it went. We lost it. It's misplaced.
Who?
I fucking misplaced that shit in my garage. That'd be a good place to put it.
It's been distributed and hidden.
Yeah, it's not lost. It's hidden, exactly.
And very clean.
And we can't tell you where it's hidden, because that would just not be good for a lot of people.
I could tell you, but then I'd have to kill you.
Yeah.
Hey, Berry Hot.
What's up?
It's okay. Better late than never. Glad you're here now.
Yeah. It's talking about how did we really go to the moon? Is the Earth flat or is it round? We've got all kinds of crazy shit going on tonight.
No love, love.
I've never thought the Earth was flat, and and I still don't. But now I question everything.
Even the stuff they say about, oh well, because if you're looking at it and it's like a drop of water, you see it down, blah blah blah. But then you see like the space station like going over certain parts where it's like, and the angles, it's like obviously going around a globe. But then it's like, well, is the space station really up there? Yeah, I think so. But
Yeah.
is it? Like, I don't know. I believe there's stuff up there. I don't know if everything up there is what they're telling us is up there.
Yeah.
I don't
You know.
think we know shit.
No, we don't know our ass from a hole in the ground.
We are peons.
That's why when the aliens drive by, they're like, keep the doors locked. Okay, see that planet down there, kids? Don't ever go there.
We are
It's like the
peasants.
insane asylum of the universe right there.
Yes.
But yeah, who knows? And yeah, politics, that's a whole nother realm of unbelievable-itis. You see videos, Obama, Hillary, talking. I just saw one the other night. Hillary's talking about if Iran ever got, to the point where they were going to think about bombing, we'd bomb the shit out of them, basically, is what she's saying. But now that Trump's talking about it, it's like, oh, he's a savage. He's crazy. He's a king. He's this, he's that. Yeah.
You go back to all of their stuff, like the stuff that he's like Obama said back then, and
It's like, bitch, we got a video of you saying this, and now you're denying that you're on fucking video saying it. This shit wasn't made up. I don't know, man. I guess it's the old, if you tell the lie enough over and over that, people will believe it. I guess that's true. Like somebody said before, there's no common sense anymore.
yeah, common sense isn't common.
Nope. Craziness.
Oh, baby.
Yeah. I wonder, I don't know. The more I talk, the crazier I sound. He's batty, batty, batty.
Love Bob, what's the
Damn
matter?
I keep closing my screen down, minimizing it, and it keeps opening up full screen. What the bloody hell's going on?
Bloody hell. I like this herbal.
The what?
The herbal.
Ah. I'm going to do your last article here real quick.
I think it's a quickie. Let me see.
No, speaking of fads and not having much common sense.
Yeah, and when we're talking about like how stupid these TikTok trends are and these influencers when they had the fart jogging and all that. Social media influencers blasted for urine drinking trend. Slammed desk. Experts. I don't need to read that part. Boffin said blasted social media influencers for promoting a urine drinking. They have to stop with this. The eggheads were forced an alert to Brits telling them not to drink their own pee after dimwits posted a flurry of clips saying it has healing properties. Comes after adventurer Bear Grylls has been seen teaching his reality show guests to down wee as a part of a survival technique. And that was an old video, and he was just showing what to do if you had to,
Yeah, yeah.
A pharmacy lecturer warns that there are major health risks with the practice. She added, drinking your own waste products can induce bacteria and toxins back into the body, which potentially cause further illness like stomach infections. The expert said social media influencers claim that urine has healing properties. There's no scientific evidence to support any of these claims. Mexican boxer Juan Manuel Marquez practiced urine drinking therapy to train for his '09 fight with Floyd Mayweather before he lost. And former Indian Prime Minister Morarji Desai claimed a daily glass of the stuff was a remedy for many diseases and contributed to his longevity. The practice of drinking pee for health benefits is known as urophagia. It
And
stretches
all
back.
the time I just thought it was nasty.
It stretches back thousands of years. Some believing downing your own, someone else's, or even animal pee acts as medicine that strengthens the immune system. Bob say most claims about urine therapy are based on ancient texts with no clear scientific evidence. In Indian medicine, urine was used to treat asthma, allergies, indigestion, wrinkles, and even cancer. The Roman poet Catullus believed urine helped to whiten teeth, probably due to its ammonia content. Urine is 95% water, with the rest mainly waste products, including urea, which is made by the liver after breaking down proteins in the body. British naturopath Armstrong published a book in 1945 called The Water of Life. Treatise on urine therapy. He used the tome to claim drinking your own wee and rubbing it into the skin could act as a cure for major illnesses. The China Urine Therapy Association claims drinking and washing with urine can cure constipation and skin sores, but experts brush off the recommendations as nonsense and say taking a vitamin is a much safer and sensible way to boost the immune system. Other modern uses of wee and alternative medicine, including cleansing and detox. Some fans downing the yellow stuff also say it leads them to pass clearer urine and to improve bowel functions. Now, there are benefits that I've heard from like other people, but again, remember they talk about like hitting that double, like the middle of the stream, and different people have claimed different things in different cultures. Some people like bathe in like cow urine, stuff like that. But these influencers have to stop using their platforms to get people to do this ridiculous stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I know people have their own weird things and kinks and all that. That's all cool.
But kids follow them and like
Couldn't pay me $1 to drink my own pee. Yeah.
people will take these beauty treatments like the jizz in the milkshakes and putting whatever on your face and putting suction balls on your back. Like all this stuff is supposed to be like the fountain of youth.
I've actually had the suction balls, the glass cups on my back.
Really?
Yeah. And it, I don't know, it didn't like, wasn't like a life altering event. You know, I just had these fucking red spots on my back for like 3 weeks afterwards.
A bunch of cup pickies.
Yeah.
But some people will try anything. Like I see these chicks. There's even one where they were having like for better gut health and this and that. They were having poop transfusions to get poop from someone else. South Park even did a thing on it where they're trying to get poop from a celebrity. I can't remember who. And now I saw an article earlier to where like they put dried feces into actual capsules so that people don't have to have the replacement therapy, but people will try anything. And I watch the trash TV. I watch the Housewives. I watch Basketball Wives. I watch, all that Bravo trash. And these girls go on these outings to go to these ridiculous new beauty trends that I just cannot believe.
Yeah.
Shaving their own eyelashes. What?
Yeah, I don't know. I saw a prank video the other day where this dude was like, actually it was a girl, and she was like nodding off, and her boyfriend like came in with a clipper and was like, yeah, and like buzzed one of her eyebrows off. Oh man.
True, Craig, but they want to be trendy. So whether they believe it, if they hear it or not, it's everybody else is doing it. So they have to be trendy too.
I remember my parents. If your friend jumped off a cliff, would you do it too?
Uh-huh.
I don't know. My friend ate a Tide Pod. Maybe I should do it. He spent 2 weeks in the hospital. I think I can do it without the hospital visit. It's like, what would induce you to drink a freaking Tide Pod? Like, where is that anywhere in the realm of a good idea? Where is that even like funny? That's just like stupid.
Or marinating chicken in NyQuil, or sticking paper clips in your phone charger and in the wall sockets. That burned my friend's house down. Her daughter legit did that. A high school friend of mine, she comes on here sometimes, lost the house, lost pets, lost everything because one of the kids participated in one of these fad trends.
Yeah, I
remember running across the boxes.
I remember when the butt chugging was like a fad, when you just stick the bottle of alcohol in your ass and get drunk that way. I'm like, I've done some weird shit, but I think I'm going to pass on that.
That was funny, and I almost even considered that, taking a shot just to see what would happen. I'm like, I don't like the taste, but if I could just, insert a little alcohol there.
Yeah, I mean, whether you stick it in your butt or chug it or whatever, I don't think drinking a whole bottle of like whiskey at once is a good idea.
No, yeah, you don't want to drink a whole bunch.
Yeah.
But like, if you absolutely can't stand the taste, or like your stomach rejects it immediately. Pop it in your ass and see what happens.
Maybe that's a sign if your stomach rejects it immediately or you can't stand the taste. Maybe that's a sign your ass don't need to be drinking it.
Yeah.
But literally, your ass don't need to be drinking
it. Literally.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Internet fads. Pass. Yeah, I'm going to pass on that. Weird.
Poor baby boy.
Yeah, the ice bucket challenge. Yep. I had a bunch of friends that did that. But then again, I have a bunch of friends that do that. They don't do the ice bucket challenge, but they do where you sit in like the big bucket of ice water, basically. Like, big giant tub full of water and ice. And some people swear by it.
Yeah. what do they call that too? Like an ice plant or ice bath? Ice bath.
Yeah, something like that.
They build nice homes with like they'll put those bathtubs like outside and stuff at different
Yeah.
places for people. But people swear by that.
Yeah,
I
one of
guess
my
it's like jumping in like the cold ocean.
yeah, yeah, the polar bear plunge. I've actually done that before.
That doesn't surprise me.
But yeah, I've got one of my Facebook, Instagram friends, you know, that's really the only way I know her, but she does that on a regular basis. And it's really cool. Like anytime I've ever asked her a question, she always answers me. And I was like, do you feel that doing that ice bath thing really helps? And she's like, oh, yeah, by far. Like she's fully like committed to it. Like, yeah, it improves my circulation and this and that. And she's like giving me a whole list of things that it helps. I'm like, I don't know. And I've got several people that I know, you know, from professional surfers, water skiers, you know, just
Mhm.
different professional athletes that swear by that. They've been doing it for
Yeah.
years.
And then they even have in like the Richie parts of town, you go into like a sub-zero, like freezing chamber where they lower it, so sitting in ice water, it's like they lower your temperature with like this really, really cold
Yeah.
air for a few minutes. But it's supposed to have legitimate health benefits that real people swear
Yeah.
by.
It's like when I go to Costco, when I go in the dairy section where all the milk and the eggs and everything are, it's like, 30 something degrees in there. And I'm like, just hang out in there for a while. Everybody's like
Yeah.
in and out, it's freezing in here. And I'm like, this feels kind of good.
Well, the first thing, like when I, have eaten shit in the backyard, like when I broke my foot, and the other time when I busted both my ankles, the first thing I did, because it happened to be cold out, was jumped waist deep into the pool, my legs, and that was like the first instinct was get my legs in that water, and it helped so much.
Yeah, it's like a lot of big wave surfers. It's not cold water, but a lot of big wave surfers dive down, to the, like in Hawaii, they'll dive down and pick up a rock, big ass rock, and walk across the bottom of the ocean carrying this rock, and it helps them as far as muscles. It helps, with holding your breath. I mean, some of those dudes can hold their breath for 3-4 minutes longer.
It's great
I used to be
training.
able to hold my breath for almost 3 minutes. Now I'm so out of shape now. It's like 30, anything past 30 seconds is like a major event.
I used to be able to hold my breath a long time. Not long enough, like when we went abalone diving, my hard thing was because if you don't get them fast enough, they suck, and they'll like clamp down that fast. Yeah. And so it's like I can get down there, but then once it comes time to doing that part of it is when I'm starting to lose my breath.
Yeah. And then depending on how deep you are, you gotta go back up.
You have to swim back up. And when the water is choppy as hell and you're being tossed all around.
Yeah. Well, cool. Another night of Weird Wednesday has
yes.
gone.
Getting to hang out with my Robert and all just the peoples I love. And hey, there's Roar. Drake. Roar. I was wondering where you were earlier. Yeah, spearfishers can hold for a long time.
Yeah, I always watch all these sailing videos and this and that, YouTube videos. people that are free diving or, you know, going down and getting lobster or spearing fish, whatever. And a lot of times, you know, I'm sitting there and I'll like hold my breath to see if I can do it the same. Yeah. Some of them, I mean, I could.
They're like moving too on top
Yeah.
of it is the thing. Like,
Exactly. I'm just sitting there, you know, in the chair. But yeah.
when I was little, my uncle, because like they were abalone divers, and we had like abalone shells all lined up, you know, in the backyard and stuff. Um, it's an 8.5 foot pool in the deep end. He would always throw the abalones down there, and of course, it's different than a real abalone,
Yeah.
but we dive down there and you know bring them back up and stuff, and he would count how many times you know to go back and forth holding the breath across the pool. And I was on swim teams and stuff like that, but yeah, I can't hold it like I used to.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of those people can hold their breath for a long, long time. Yeah. There's a dive shop just right down the road from me. We were driving by the other day and Darcy had an interesting question. She was like, do you have to know how to swim to learn how to dive? And I was like, initially, I was like, well, of course. Well, do you? I don't know. You're not really swimming, I guess, technically when you're diving. I mean, if you're just free diving, yeah. But even then, I don't know.
You have to be able to like come back up and tread water at
Yeah.
least
But if
and get yourself to the side.
if you're wearing tanks, do you need to know how to swim?
Oh, diving like
Yeah.
that?
I don't,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. It's a good question.
Well, yeah, you do kind of, because if you get stuck in the weeds in the grass and you don't know how to like flip your legs up and get out of it without panicking, people die in that. I just know how to like loosen my legs down and then just kind of paddle my legs up until I'm out of the kelp forests.
Yeah, like your seaweed out there is completely different than what we have here on the East Coast. You know, we got grass,
Yeah,
whereas you have like
big old thick sheets of
crazy.
like
Yeah,
kelp, like Monterey. Holy cow!
yeah. I always see, you know, is Santa Cruz, that area, have a lot of kelp and stuff. There's a surf break,
Right next to, but yep.
and I always see videos, you know, and it'd be like real glassy, and you could see all the kelp in the water. I'm like, damn.
And a big old ball on the end that you can squeeze it and it squirts all this like seawater out.
Crazy. Yeah, here we have just grass mainly. You know, there's some seaweed, like it's like tubes of grass. A lot of it looks like underwater grass, but there is some that's like thick, like tubular weird stuff. But yeah.
Plus your water, you have so much better clarity.
Yeah, like just a little ways south of here, you know, the water's insane. And you get down in the Bahamas, the Keys in the Bahamas, especially the Bahamas, and it's just mind boggling how clear it is. Remember the first time I went there, I was just sitting on the dock going, I don't want to leave. I just want to stay here. Partly because it was so beautiful, and the other part was because the plane I was going to fly home in was a complete POS. Oil running down the side of it. What happens if we stall up there? I don't know. I'm ready to die, aren't you? No, dude, I'm only 17. I'm not ready to die. Well, cool. I guess we'll catch you guys next time for Weirdo Wednesday, and maybe for I got a gig this Sunday, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna be on Paranormal Soup or not. Depends on what time we get done.
Oh yeah, definitely the gig comes first.
Yeah, making money. Yeah,
Yeah.
always a plus. I think I get done pretty early with this gig though, because my drummer is going to see Ringo Starr that night. So he's like, "Yeah, we'll do the gig, but I'm going to tell him we're going to do it early so I can go to the show." So yeah, I think I get out of there fairly early. But yeah, we'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. And you know, if it wasn't for all y'all, Jamie and G and me would just be sitting here bullshitting with each other, which we could be fine with, but it's a lot better when you guys are here. So we will catch you later. Take care. Have a great rest of the week. And we'll see you next time on the